Two workers are preparing to offload cargo from a truck. One of them begins detaching the metal railings that secure the load, unaware that his teammate is standing on one. The moment it comes loose, the worker on the left loses his footing and falls hard off the side of the truck. This kind of fall happens in seconds, and it's almost always avoidable. Before removing any guardrail or securing bar, workers should communicate clearly and confirm that no one is standing on or leaning against it. Proper offloading protocols, spotters, and fall protection gear are essential whenever you're working at height, even on a truck bed. A quick word between teammates could have prevented a painful fall like this one. Two workers lean into a punch-in press, trying to make an adjustment. But then, without warning, the machine cycles. The press slams down just inches from them. A split second slower, and this would have been a fatal crush incident. This near miss highlights a serious issue in factories everywhere. Workers entering hazardous zones without lockout or safety interlocks active. To prevent this, always isolate and lock out machinery before performing any adjustments or clearing jams. Never rely on verbal communication alone. Use lockout tagout procedures. Ensure presses have dual hand controls or light curtains that stop motion when someone's in the danger zone. They were lucky this time, but in safety, luck isn't a strategy. In this steel plant, everything seems normal, until it isn't. Workers are standing near the rolling line, when a glowing hot steel rod suddenly shoots out of control. In seconds, they drop everything and run for their lives as molten metal whips across the floor. This is what happens when equipment alignment fails or safety barriers are missing in high-temperature operations. A single malfunction can turn a work zone into a firestorm. To prevent incidents like this, always keep a safe clearance zone around rolling or extrusion lines. Use heat shields and physical barriers to contain flying material. And never stand directly in the line of discharge. Hot metal doesn't forgive mistakes. These workers escaped with luck, but in safety, luck only lasts once. They were lucky this time, but in safety, luck isn't a strategy.
In this workshop, a worker climbs up to adjust a large press machine. But there's one major problem. The die above him weighs several tons, and there's nothing stopping it from dropping. He's standing directly beneath it, unaware of just how close he is to disaster. One accidental cycle, one electrical fault, and this scene could have turned fatal. Press machines must always be locked out and blocked before maintenance or setup. That means using die safety blocks, lockout tagout procedures, and clear communication between operators. Heavy machinery doesn't forgive, it reacts instantly. This worker was lucky to walk away, but next time, luck won't be enough. At this construction site, workers are lowering a heavy concrete slab into a deep trench. But notice the warning signs: loose soil walls, no shoring, no edge protection, and people standing dangerously close to the sides. As the crane adjusts the load, the vibration and added weight cause the soil at the edge to give way. In seconds, the ground collapses, trapping one worker under the falling debris. This is why trench safety is never optional. Always shore or slope trench walls. Keep heavy loads and people well back from the edge. And never let anyone enter a trench deeper than 1.2 meters without proper protection. 1 second of carelessness can bury a life in an instant.
In this workshop, a team is lifting a massive steel frame using a crane, but one worker steps dangerously close, right under the suspended load. As the structure shifts, its balance gives way. The steel beam swings violently, striking the worker before crashing to the floor. This is why no one should ever stand beneath or near a suspended load, no matter how stable it looks. Lifting operations demand clear exclusion zones marked and enforced, trained signalers guiding the operator, and rigging checks before every lift. One wrong step near a suspended load, and there's no second chance. On this site, a worker climbs onto a truck loaded with massive paper rolls. But the cargo isn't secured. No straps, no chocks, nothing holding it in place. As he leans against one roll, it starts to move. In seconds, the entire stack collapses, crushing the truck and narrowly missing the worker. This is why load securing is non-negotiable. Heavy cargo must always be strapped, blocked, and stabilized before anyone climbs or works near it. Even a slight shift in balance can unleash tons of force. One careless moment, and gravity does the rest. These workers are covering a dump truck using scaffolds on each side. But there's one major problem. No guardrails, no harness, and no fall protection. As one worker leans forward to pull the tarp, he loses balance. In a split second, he tumbles off the edge, hitting the ground hard. Falls like this happen fast, and they're one of the leading causes of workplace fatalities worldwide. To prevent them, use guardrails or fall arrest systems on elevated platforms. Never overreach or lean past the edge, and always ensure stable footing when working at height. A moment of imbalance can change everything. In this workshop, a machinist is operating a lathe, but he's wearing a loose jacket. As he leans in to adjust the tool, the spinning chuck catches his sleeve. In an instant, the fabric wraps around the rotating shaft, pulling him violently toward the machine. The worker struggles to break free as the lathe drags and twists his upper body. This horrifying moment shows how fast rotation and loose clothing can turn deadly. Every machinist must follow one rule above all: no loose clothing, no gloves, no distractions. On distractions, always secure sleeves, remove jewelry, and stay clear of moving parts. It only takes 1 second of contact for the machine to take control. At this dock, a heavy crane is lifting another piece of machinery, a smaller mobile crane. Everything seems stable until one of the slings gives way. In an instant, the entire load flips 180 degrees mid-air, slamming down with massive force. The violent spin could have easily struck nearby workers or damaged the dockside crane. This is what happens when lifting gear isn't properly inspected or rated for the load. Frayed slings, worn hooks, or uneven weight distribution can cause catastrophic failure. Before any lift, always check every component, confirm load balance, and keep all personnel clear of the drop zone. Because when a lift goes wrong, there's no second chance. This man climbs onto his roof using a simple ladder. No harness, no spotter, and wearing casual shoes. He continues walking up the sloped tiles. But one wrong step on the slick surface, and gravity takes over. He slips, slides down the roof, and crashes to the ground below. Luckily, he escapes serious injury, but this could have been fatal. Working at height without proper equipment is never worth the risk. Always secure the ladder at the base and top, wear non-slip footwear, and use a safety harness when possible. One slip is all it takes to turn a quick repair into a life-changing. This operator is attempting to drive a tractor across a floating bridge made from metal barrels and wooden planks. At first, it looks like a clever setup. The bridge seems steady, and the crossing begins smoothly. But the moment the heavy rear wheels reach the ramp, the pontoons start dipping under the surface. The bridge tilts forward, water rushes over the planks, and the structure begins to lose buoyancy. Despite the driver's effort to push through, the weight of the tractor overwhelms the floating base. In seconds, the entire bridge collapses, flipping the tractor into the water below. Fortunately, the operator manages to swim to shore, but this could have been fatal. This accident shows what happens when makeshift engineering meets real-world weight. Floating bridges require precise load calculations, balanced buoyancy, and proper anchoring. Without them, even a small miscalculation can turn a simple crossing into a total disaster. Every shortcut might save time, but safety is what keeps you alive. In this footage, a worker is helping a loader operator back into position inside a maintenance bay. She stands directly in front of the vehicle, giving hand signals to guide the driver in. But as the loader approaches the stopping point, the operator misjudges the distance, or the brakes don't respond in time. The massive machine keeps rolling forward, and within seconds it slams into her and the wall behind. It's a terrifying moment, one that could have ended her life. She was fortunate to survive with minor injuries, but this close call shows how easily things can go wrong around heavy machinery. Spotting and parking operations should never place anyone in the line of fire. Always maintain visual communication from a safe angle, use designated stop markers, and ensure all operators are trained in low-speed precision control. Two workers were carrying out facade maintenance on a high-rise building when a powerful storm suddenly hit the area. Strong gusts of wind began to swing their suspended platform violently from side to side. They tried to hold on, but with wind speeds far beyond safety limits, the scaffolding broke free from its anchors. In seconds, the platform collapsed, sending both workers falling from a deadly height. Emergency services arrived soon after, but tragically, Neither worker survived. This heartbreaking accident shows how quickly the weather can turn a safe work environment into a fatal one. Working at height during storms or strong winds is never worth the risk. Always monitor weather alerts, secure all suspended platforms, and suspend work immediately when conditions become unsafe. Because no task and no deadline is worth a human life.